Okay, so do we have any announcements? Mary?
So I know many of us in neighborhoods across the city have issues with traffic speeding and the need for traffic calming and stuff. In January, that issue exploded on our Hensley next door neighborhood, social media, whatever you call it. Particularly on an area on 5th, I'm from Hensley, so on 5th and 6th Street. So from 5th, from Empire to Julian is basically a drag race. And 5th and Washington is, you can hardly, when you come out Washington, there's really poor visibility. There's been several crashes there. Excuse me. There's been several more recently. And then two, they had just put in, the city and our city forest had just put in some new trees on the median strip in the middle of Finley, oh God, where did I come from? In the middle of 5th. And we just had a hit and run that started on 3rd Street, and he speeded over to 5th Street and then tore out 6 of the trees. He actually jumped up on the median, broke all of the, protecting stands and everything else. And at our Hensley meeting, Gene directed me to some DOT folks who had told me that they were going to take care of it, and then when they described how they were going to take care of it, it totally ignored the problem, because they had never talked to us about what the problem was. They wanted to put additional 25-mile-per-hour signs on the side of the street that already has 4 instead of the other side that has only 1. But I have since heard, since I was trying to be very polite with them and saying, they have now postponed all of that while they're actually going to do a speed study. But in the meantime, I started researching and finding out what could happen, because I was also directed to some other good folks in DOT. And I learned about the streetscapes. Roma Dawson is a very good friend of mine, longtime colleague, and we ran into each other. She told me what the Arts Commission was doing, so great job, Tina, with all that stuff. And then I learned of a group in Oregon that works with community groups and helps them almost like take back the streets. It's called City Repair. And I learned that they were actually doing a touring of California. And they will be here either March 16th or 18th. We're trying to get them together. And I'm also now, tomorrow I'm having coffee with Jason Sue of the San Jose Downtown Association, who has now put together an example of the process that you might go through to do that same kind of thing in your area. They're working with Delmas neighborhood. Delmas is interested. So, because that kind of stuff in the streets, it is traffic calming. There's lots of other things that you can do too, but this will help to, the whack on the side of the brain to get you thinking about some things that you can do that will not only address traffic issues in some way, but help you work within your community to get, them more empowered and feeling, yes, we did something, and, communicate. And that's what we're going to be doing too, is that I'm going to be going up and down 5th Street around the area this Saturday with a little survey and talking to all the neighbors and stuff too, to get some real data on what's, what they feel about it. And I pretty much know what I'm going to hear, having already talked to several other people. Oh, it's awful. Yeah. But so I will make sure that it gets out to this group on the exact date and time and location for the workshop in March. I'm hoping Jason of the San Jose Downtown Association will say yes, he can come, so that we not only have an inspiring group who is, and if you go to cityrepair.org, you can see the kinds of things that this group has done with neighbors, and just bringing block parties back together and celebrating as they paint the whole thing. I don't know if we can paint it ourselves. There's all the issues of it. Is it non-toxic paint and it won't go into the storm sewers and stuff? But what can we do? And then to hear of a local, trying to repeat the, beautiful ones, and you can design them then according to your own neighborhood. I mean, we can have Victorian houses and, Victorian wallpaper or something for Hensley. on the ground, on the street, on the pavement. So please watch, who should I work with to get the information out to everybody?
You can work with me. We can
Okay.
work together and we'll get that out.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna work with Ken Holder-Sack, I guess it was? Pogolsik of the United Neighborhoods to get it out to other neighborhood groups throughout the city, because I know speeding isn't just a District 3 issue.
You be sure to let us know too when.
Yes, when I nail it down, we're looking at Joyce Ellington.
Great.
Okay.
Hopefully we could push towards the 18th because March 16th is our next meeting for CLC.
Yeah.
Thank you for that announcement. And anybody else? Tina?
Just real quick, if you like the food, got it from a local place, Roby's in San Pedro Square. It's falafel, Roby's falafel, so please patronize. Thank you.
And take some home.
So before we end, I wanted to come back and revisit the subcommittees for 2016. I'd like to make that motion tonight so we could set them in place, although we have 3 members per subcommittee. Subcommittees for 2016 we have as Crime and Public Safety, Dee, Michelle, Stephanie, Planning and Land Use Development, Pete, Lance, and Joel, Traffic Calming, Tina, Pete, and Mary, Membership and Outreach, Joan, Pete, Stephanie. So we're all one short for these committees.
Okay, so I'll be on the planning and land use
Okay.
also.
Tina, so that one is complete. Would somebody like to make a motion so we can actually set these in order before we leave tonight?
Can we do that pending more people at the next
Oh,
meeting
absolutely,
to add
yeah,
them?
with the
So
open
moved.
recruitment stuff.
So moved.
Okay, we have a second? Okay. All in favor?
Okay.
Any opposed? Okay. Subcommittees with open recruitment are in order. Thank you, everybody. Meeting is adjourned.
Organize this and set up.
For